listeners, welcome to Evolving. We are back once again.
Thank you so much for your enormous and amazing feedback that we got in the last podcast, due to which we've decided to continue with the same topic of the variety of clients.
Yes, anyway, we could not cover the type of clients because that list is quite endless. So we thought, why not continue yet again? Because we got a lot of inquiries asking, hey, there are other kind of clients as well. So why not cover it, right? So the first kind of client that is currently coming to my mind is the kind of client who says, budget? What budget? I'm sure you guys are relating to that. So this is a kind of client who, probably will start off with a certain scope of work. We'll tell them these are the deliverables, blah, blah, blah. We'll start work. And then in the mid of the work, they will be like, hey, we can do this, we can do that. So they'll have an endless list of activities, which was never there in the scope of work. And then we'll tell them that, okay, we are ready to do this. And this is going to be the budget for that. Then they come up and say, budget? What budget? Just, do you relate to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think these are the clients that come up with new ideas every single day while they're dreaming about them. And next day, the scope of works thereby increase. In such situations, we try and accommodate as much as we can. However, when it goes beyond a certain point, when it requires a sudden increase in the amount of man hours, or, in terms of sitting and strategizing the whole thing with the new scope of work, then it becomes difficult for us to continue on the same budget. And then again, when we talk about revision, then it becomes a big question mark.
Yeah, I think at times it kind of becomes difficult to explain the client that, correct, we do have a team of experts. We do have a team who works with campaigns, who works with social media calendars, creatives, designs and everything. But that doesn't mean that, we will be available for all of the activities that will be there. Like, there are a lot of manpowers that go into it. We do a lot of brainstorming sessions. The team has to completely coordinate together with each other. So I feel, at times that kind of work that is done by the agency needs to be respected, which sometimes it gets difficult, but there are ways to handle it. And I think that's how we've been doing all this time.
Absolutely. To speak about the next kind of the next category of clients rather, is the let's get personal clients, where they're like these super over friendly kind of clients and they want to know everything about us. Like, I think something that I mentioned in the last podcast, where they want to know what we've eaten, if we're doing well, how is our personal life going, where are we currently based, how did I meet Gopa, or things like that. And then we honestly don't mind being a little friendly, but I think these are the ones who are like supremely friendly.
Yeah, I agree. There are times when probably on a weekend, I'll be out with my family, having a good dinner time, and then ping, I get a message from a client asking me that, hey, I really need to discuss the calendar extremely urgently. Can we please catch up for a cup of coffee this weekend? So, that kind of messages coming in, day in, day out. So, yeah, there are type of clients who try to ask you about your whereabouts, about how you're feeling, which feels good at times. But yeah, they need to be tagged as let's get personal type clients.
Yes, absolutely. All right. The next category of clients are the knock-knock clients. Now, what do I mean by knock-knock? Is basically they love cracking jokes. And these are not simple jokes. These are crazy, lame jokes. However, I'm a person who loves to laugh on such jokes. Could it be yo mama jokes? Could it be jokes that absolutely make no sense, have no head and tail to it, but somehow I enjoy. And these are the times when I look at you, Gopa, and Gopa has this straight face where she's like, okay, this is not making sense. But I honestly, personally enjoy them. What's your take on this, Gopa?
Oh God, now that you're mentioning it, I still remember there was this client who used to, probably after every second or third sentence, he used to crack joke, and like we would be on a video call facing each other and he would be non-stop cracking this PJs, this kind of lame father jokes, and we used to be like, and we used to look at each other's eyes and we had to laugh it up. And the fact that we were laughing at the lame jokes turned out to be even more humorous in the
Yeah,
end.
and at times, the fact that I look at Gopa and I exactly know what you are thinking, Gopa, I think I laugh more on that, and I laugh more on like the whole scenario as compared to laughing on the joke. But at the end, what really matters is
We
like,
laughed.
yeah, we laughed and the mood was lightened. Then I think overall then we concluded by saying that okay, overall it was a good call.
But yeah, and I think it's good to have these kind of clients because they're always with a light mood. And sometimes if there are issues and any escalations, then, we can kind of lighten the mood with this kind of conversation. So it kind of helps as well at times.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now moving on to the next kind of clients is the once upon a time client. So this set of client basically lives in nostalgia and present. So they're always in that, once upon a time I was young, this is how I started my company, this is what happened, this time I got married, this was the thought process behind a starting company, then these were the kind of employees, or they're always in that once upon a time story kind of mode. And I think what really is funny here is that we've listened to this over and over again. I think we know lesser about brand vendor, but we know more about how that company really started and who probably the founders were, what was the story, why did it start, what was the thought process. I think that becomes funny when it's like it's a part of every time call.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree because it is, now that we are talking about different type of clients, I'm able to recall, all those conversations that we've had with these particular categorized clients that we're talking about currently. So yeah, these clients who would always be like, हाँ मैंने ये किया था, मेरे ज़माने में ऐसा होता था, all of that. And then we'd be like, okay, here it goes. And then it continues. And like just said, yeah, it's, I think, umpteenth time that we'll be listening to the same story over and over and over again.
Absolutely. I think there's always a comparison between आजकल के लोग and then हमारे time पे. And these are kind of people who feel, how the world has changed so drastically. And then these people these days do not follow that work culture ethically. They keep changing teams. Then mostly it's more about, हमारे time पे लोग job switch नहीं करते थे. And यहाँ पर there are new people that we introduce to them every now and then because it's a very rapidly growing field that we are in. And obviously we keep adding more people to the team, and every time they get introduced to like a newer person to do a newer set of things for them, and then it becomes like, आजकल कोई टिकता ही नहीं है types.
I agree. However, there is one thing that also I would like to mention over here, that no doubt that they keep on sharing, oversharing information about unke zamane ke time. However, in the process is a lot that we get to learn. We gain knowledge from the experiences that they shared, from their expertise. We get to learn a lot about, entrepreneurship, about business skills, and a lot of other things. So yes, even this kind of clients are at times very helpful, no doubt.
Gopa, that actually reminds me of one advice that one of such client had given, is where he said that, entrepreneurship is not about sailing fast. It's about sticking there and sailing slow. So it's not about who wins the race first, but who just sticks around and sustains all the ups and downs, highs and lows, and is still around, seen, strong and steady. I think that personally brought a lot of stability to me because I've always been a very restless person, while Gopa, you have always are much more steadier than I have been. But I think such advice is coming from people who've been in business for decades altogether. The wisdom that they come up with is absolutely mind-boggling.
Yes. So I think we would also like to get some viewpoints from you guys. I mean, what kind of clients probably you guys have faced? What are the kind of hilarious clients you've had, what are the kind of serious clients you've had. Please do share it with us. Please drop a comment in the box below, and we'd love to share that with our listeners as well. So we hope that we'll get some good feedback from you guys as well.
Absolutely. I think we can obviously share a laugh together, and you can share some instances with us. Thank you so much for listening. You all have been super kind, super helpful, and super motivating to us. You all keep us going, and that is the reason we've been able to come up with podcasts every week without missing any. Touch wood, I'm not jinxing this. Thank you so much. I think with this we conclude. Have a lovely weekend and week ahead.
Yes, and please don't be sad because we are going to be back again. Ciao!
Adios.